physical world. What is science? From the minute we rise in the morning till we go to bed and fall asleep, a large number of gadgets are working for us. The bed we sleep on, the alarm clock that tries to wake us up, the glass containing water, the book that you were trying to read before falling asleep, have all been made by man, haven't they? Some objects, like rocks, fruits, and flowers, however, occur naturally. Many other objects, such as plastics or bricks, are man-made. These objects and materials have made our life more comfortable and enjoyable. They have also increased our ability to develop other useful materials and fabricate more useful gadgets. Now, all this knowledge and skill has been accumulated over the past thousands of years. Let us look at a few gadgets of the growth of science and technology over the ages. Science is a collection of systematic and organized knowledge about the various things around us, obtained through observations and experiments. Branches of science. Science is mainly divided into two branches. 1. Pure sciences or basic sciences, and 2. Applied sciences. The pure sciences or basic sciences are further divided into physical sciences and biology or life sciences. Physical sciences are further divided into physics and chemistry, while biological or life sciences are further divided into zoology and botany. When it comes to applied sciences, they are further divided into technology and medical science. Let's look at all these in a little more detail. Pure sciences or basic science. Science related to matter or the non-living objects is termed as physical sciences, and the science related to living objects is termed as life sciences. That's simple enough. Thus, pure science is further divided into three branches. 1. Physics, 2. Chemistry, and 3. Life sciences. Applied sciences. It is animal nature to make use of materials found in nature. For example, the birds use natural materials to make their nests. Similarly, man has brain and skill. He used it initially for making tools from sharp or pointed stones and used them in hunting for food. And from right here started the applied science. Applied science has two branches. 1. Technology. It is mechanical application for developing machines and generating energy. 2. Medical science. The medical science is used for developing medicines and for the treatment of human beings and animals to keep them in good health. Physics and its scope. Physics is the study of matter, the substance which our whole universe is made up of, and how it relates to the forms of energy in nature. Therefore, isn't it important that we must know about matter and energy? Yes, it is. Matter. Matter is that which occupies space and possesses mass. For example, a book, glass, chair, and table, etc. Energy. Energy cannot be seen. It could be felt only. For example, electricity, light, sound, and heat, etc. Energy can be defined as capacity of doing work. Scope of science, that is, science in everyday life. You might have known about your grandparents' lives during olden days. They would have told you about the type of houses and the mode of traveling and communications prevailing in the olden days. Yes, they have? Then you will know that since then, things around us have changed a lot. Things which we are using in our daily life, such as stainless steel, plastic, fiberglass, television, jet aeroplanes, etc. were not known to them, were they? Well, our way of life has considerably improved, such as the quality of clothes, medicines, mode of communications, and entertainment. Have you ever thought how these improvements have come about? In fact, science helps us in bringing new things and knowledge about happenings around us. Today, the scientists all over the world, through their hard work and systematic approach, have solved many problems. In fact, scientific thinking helps us invent new devices which are useful in our daily life. How does science help us? Do you know the modes of sending messages commonly used in olden days? For instance, it happened in Greece long ago. A king attacked his neighboring kingdom. The other king did not know about this attack because his capital was far away. Some people wanted to inform their king immediately. One person was asked to do this job. The person started running towards the capital, and to reach the capital, he ran nearly 40 kilometers. Well, in this way, he gave the message to the king, but he fell down and died. Now, you may realize the need of communication. The television, radio, and newspapers give us information of happenings around the world. We may also watch on television events like cricket matches and other celebrations. You do? Yes, indeed. The launch of artificial satellites made communication faster and easier. Satellites are used to forecast weather also. You can talk to a person on telephone far away from you. You may cover in short time a longer distance traveling by an aeroplane. Have a look at the figure. This shows how things are developed in the fields of transportation and communication. Till recent years, lakhs of people in the world died of diseases like smallpox, malaria, cholera, and plague, etc. every year. Well, nowadays, we do not even hear about smallpox or plague. That is because new medicines and vaccines are discovered for the protection from such diseases. Scientific method. The systematic method followed by a scientist in finding out fact is called scientific method. The scientific method consists of the following steps. 1. Making observations. 2. Collecting information. 3. Suggesting an explanation, that is, theory or hypothesis or law. 4. Experimenting. 5. Forming a conclusion. Step 1. Making observations. A scientist observes carefully what is happening in the nature. We know a body falls down when dropped from a height. In fact, most of the people do not give importance to what they see, but a scientist goes deep into the happenings observed by him. For example, Sir Isaac Newton discovered the well-known law of gravitation by a simple observation while he was sitting under an apple tree. What was the observation? That an apple had fallen from the apple tree. Step 2. Collecting information. A scientist keeps an accurate record of all the observations and measurements made by him. He also gathers all the available information about the problem from various sources and records it properly. Step 3. Theory or hypothesis. A scientist thinks over all the observations, measurements, and other information available to him about the problem. He thinks of various possibilities and probable causes. After a careful consideration of all the facts and evidence, the scientist suggests a reasonable explanation of the problem. This explanation may be a hypothesis or a theory or a law. Step 4. Experimenting. The scientist performs experiments to test his explanation. You might have heard the name of Galileo. Well, he performed a number of experiments regarding falling bodies. He dropped different bodies of different shapes, sizes, and weights from the Leaning Tower of Pisa, his well-known experiment, Feather and Stone, in the history of science. Step 5. Forming a conclusion. If the results of the experiments support the explanation by the scientist, then he makes a conclusion about the problem. But however, the results of the experiment do not support his explanation, then this explanation is rejected. When a hypothesis is proved, it becomes a law or theory. We also use scientific methods in cooking and other household activities. A farmer plowing the field and a bicycle maker also use scientific methods. Even when you notice some harsh sound in your bicycle, you use a scientific method to find the cause of unusual sound and then get it repaired. A scientist also works in the same way. Scientific method in our daily life. The scientific method is used by us in our daily life. For example, first, a farmer working in the field uses scientific method to grow crops. Second, We use scientific method to detect and repair the fault in our bicycle. Third, a mechanic uses scientific method to detect and repair the fault in a machine. Fourth, a potter uses scientific method to make earthen pots. Fifth, in cooking and other household activity. We will now discuss an example of the working of a scientist by taking the case of a doctor. You know, a doctor is also a scientist? He is. Remember that a scientist never gives any conclusion without having enough evidence. Some eminent physicists. Some famous physicists are mentioned as below. Sir C.V. Raman, 1888 to 1970. He won the Nobel Prize for discovering the Raman effect. Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, 1909 to 1966. Pioneer of atomic research in India. A nuclear reactor, Apsara, was built in India under his guidance. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, 1919 to 1970. Pioneer in space research in India. Dr. Meghnad Saha, 1893 to 1956. Discoverer of ionized molecules around the sun. Sir Isaac Newton, 1642 to 1727. Discoverer of law of gravitation. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. A great scientist who discovered theory of relativity and won Nobel Prize in 1921. Originator of mass energy formula E is equal to mc square. What is physics? The word physics is taken from the Greek word physikos, which means natural. It is the science of nature in a broader sense. Physicists study the behavior and interactions of matter and force. The laws of physics are generally expressed as mathematical relations. Physics can be defined as: physics is the branch of science which deals with the study of matter and energy. Branches of physics. Physics emerged as a separate science only in the early 19th century. Until that time, the physicist was often also a mathematician, philosopher, chemist, biologist, engineer, or even an artist. But not so now. Today, the field has grown to such an extent that for its systematic study, the subject is subdivided into various branches. First, mechanics. Second, heat and thermodynamics. Third, light. Fourth, sound. Fifth, electricity. Sixth, magnetism. Seventh, modern physics and electronics. There are few other branches of physics such as meteorology, astronomy, geophysics, biophysics, etc. also. Physics in daily life. The advancement in physics has enabled us to improve our lifestyle. Applications of physics have an impact on almost every aspect of our daily lives. Discoveries in the field of physics have affected our everyday life by the invention of thousands of machines. From the moment we wake up in the morning till long after we have gone to bed at night, it is quite difficult to put them in a list. However, some very common applications are given below. 1. Health and medicine. X-rays, sonography, CT scan, MRI, etc. are used to diagnose diseases. Stethoscope, thermometer, ECG machines, etc. are also used by doctors. 2. Transport. Cars, buses, trains, aeroplanes, etc. made the world smaller by reducing traveling time, haven't they? 3. Communications. Telephones, telegraphs, internet, mobile telephones, satellites, etc. made communications faster and better. In fact, can you imagine living without them? 4. Household appliances and gadgets. Electric bulbs, tubes, fans, refrigerators, washing machines, geysers, heaters, etc. have made our life comfortable. 5. Energy production. Electrical energy, one of the most important developments of our modern life. The solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, atomic energy, etc. are now replacing the conventional source of energy. 6. Dress materials. Different types of fashionable and comfortable dresses are produced by the machines developed by physicists and engineers. 7. Entertainment. Physics has gone a long way in the field of entertainment. Cinematography, radio, TV, video games, music systems, VCDs, etc. are the main source of entertainment. 8. Scientific research. Telescope, microscope, and other instruments based on the principles of physics are utilized for research in different branches of science. Now, can you understand how the study of physics has improved our daily life?